Hey, Shalom. This is your brother Yawanathan. First and foremost, want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Want to say Shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity. All right, may the blessing of election be upon your house. Now, I'd say this. We're coming up on the Passover, and around the Passover, the Lord always does a few things. He does a house cleaning, and it gives you opportunity for growth. Different trials will start to pop up around Passover for you in your personal life, in your day-to-day. Um, the Passover is always a big push in the spirit, a turning point for a lot of brothers and the ministry often at times. So, as we approach this time, be cognizant of the things that's going on in your life. Pray, pray that you have the right mindset to deal with the things that are coming up in your life. Be spiritually circumspect, as you always should be, but especially during this time as we approach the solemn assembly. Got a precept. I'm going to go to Hebrews 12, but I want to read this in the G&T. It's Hebrews 12:4. It says, "For in your struggle against sin, you have not yet had to resist to the point of being killed." Now, we're coming up. We're approaching a time to where we believe it's going to be under the threat of death. Right? So we're building up ourselves we're not building ourselves up. Yahweh Shai, through Yahweh, is building us up so that we could be fervent and immovable in the spirit when that test comes. All right. But we haven't resisted unto that point yet. But we're being built up, through our learning, through, dealing with people attacking the gospel, different situations in our life where we have to apply the spirit. We're being built up to where we're able to withstand that test. We're being built up to the point to where we have a true disdain for this world and the management that it's under. So when it comes time to separate from it, we are able. All right. It's Hebrews 12:4 once more. It says, "For in your struggle against sin, you have not yet had to resist to the point of being killed. Have you forgotten the encouraging words of God, which God speaks to you as his sons and daughters? My child, pay attention when the Lord corrects you, and do not be discouraged when he rebukes you." All right? Because rebuke is a part of your growth. It's a part of you being able to pass harder tests. All right? When you're rebuked and you're forced to look at yourself, you're forced to change, you're forced to consider your ways, you're forced to build particular habits so that you could take on more responsibility and guide other men. That's what the Lord wants, man. Part of us going through trials is for our spiritual growth. Another part, of course, is so that the Lord is glorified, because we're not able to do any of this without his strength. Right? It's correct. It's correct, children. He need a whooping. I don't know if y'all can hear that on the mic. All right. Verse 5. "Have you forgotten the encouraging words which God speaks to you as his sons and daughters? My child, pay attention when the Lord corrects you, and do not be discouraged when he rebukes you, because the Lord corrects everyone he loves and punishes everyone he accepts as his child." All right? You have a son, you put him through particular tests. You put him through trials. All right? Especially a son of yours that's being groomed as a firstborn to take your spot. That's being groomed to be in a kingly position. You're going to put him through trials and tests. You have to, for the sake of the house surviving. And through the spirit, if you be one of the men of the elect, you're that firstborn. All right? You're one of those first fruits. So, endure hardness as a good soldier. Now, I went online and I typed in the question, why is a prince put through trials, and what purpose does it serve, to see, if I got some spiritual answers. All right? And there's 4 points I want to read for you all here. Number 1, it says preparation for leadership. All right? It says trials can prepare a prince for responsibilities of leadership. By facing challenges and overcoming obstacles, a prince can develop resilience, which we need in order for this walk, because we're going to constantly be tested. The world is constantly going to be against us the same way it was against our big brother Yahweh Shai. And the servant is not above his Lord. So we're going to have to endure similar trials, similar obstacles, and we need resilience to overcome those obstacles. All right, wisdom. It's going to give you wisdom, impart unto you wisdom. And I always bring up the point that a lot of times some of the trials you may go through may not even be for your own growth. Yeah, you're going to grow within it, but it might be more important for another brother. You see a particular adversity you may go through, it may have been frustrating and a thorn in your side, but it didn't break you. When that same adversity that you went through for another brother coming along that may be new, that adversity that you went through, when he goes through that situation, it may be able to break him. Different strengths, right? But because you're now there within the body and you could give advice and counsel on how to move in that situation, you've now helped that brother overcome an obstacle through the Spirit that would have otherwise broken that brother. The Lord works in mysterious ways, all right? So a lot of the things that the men of the Lord went through in the scriptures and examples that we have, the Lord had them go through that. So when we go through particular trials today, we can refer to our forefathers. The things written aforetime are written for our learning. All right? It goes on to say, and decision-making skills, judgment, basically, skills necessary to lead effectively. All right? Knowing not that you shouldn't be poking holes in the scriptures this late in the game. Questioning, the validity of the word that the Lord gave us so that we can make it to the end. Sowing doubt amongst the flock when we need faith to make it. You'll have to understand this isn't something I should even, I don't have to bring up everything. Maybe I don't have to, even though I went and did this research and did it that, maybe I shouldn't say this on tape. And I'm referring to the guys in Sakari, questioning the validity of Paul, which is really elementary when you think about it. Yahweh Shai supped with Paul for years. And he gave him his authority. So that's just like the scriptures say. Let me actually go get it in Sirach. It tells you that a wicked man won't be reproved, but maketh an excuse. And that's in the Apocrypha. Sirach 32 and 17. A sinful man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will. Not the Lord's will, but his own. So you have some guys who they'll say, oh, Paul said, they'll go to a writing of Paul to make a statement, but then within that same chapter they say, oh, this isn't valid. But that's last week. That's last week's news. Let's continue on this list here. The Lord's just revealing the men that he's dealing with in this time. All right, you got to have discernment to see it. It says, going through trials allows a prince to gain practical experience in handling adversity, conflict, and difficult decisions, which are essential for effective leadership. And, if you're privileged enough to be a part of a congregation, you'll notice as brothers, come up in rank, and rank is simply for the purpose of order. But as they come up in rank, more what is given to them? More responsibility is given to brothers, because you need responsibility, which is going to come along with trials and tests and conflict and decision making. You need that in order for you to grow. And once you master that stage, the Lord will offer you more opportunity for more growth to happen. And that's going to come with higher level tests, higher level adversity, higher tests or temptations in the flesh. Apostle Rakah, he says, hey man, the deeper you get in this thing, the higher level demons are going to be permitted to attack you. And that's true. I've seen that in my short time. So I can only imagine for, the apostles, the elders above me. They've dealt with things, man, that are according to what their strength, right? But they've been brought to the brink of their strength and forced to, call on our power, pray, and lean on him to pass those tests. And that's the solution. I always got to lean on our power. All right. The second point I wanted to read here, it says testing character and integrity. Okay. It says trials serve to test the character and integrity of a prince. Facing adversity can reveal a person's true nature, and it does. Okay? Sometimes, part of your test could be being recognized, could be sometimes being patted on the back. To see how you deal with it. Are you going to get puffed up? Are you going to lose sight of what the mission is about and think it's about you? Are you going to remember that this is about forwarding the will of the husband? All right? Goes on to say here, by undergoing trials, a prince's character is tested and their responses to difficult situations provide insight into their suitability for leadership. So a lot of guys, it was written for them to, be in this thing for a time, get recognition, be confronted with, temptations in the flesh, women, notoriety, whatever it may be. Okay? The bag, the devil comes and offers them the bag. And it's just, they fold and they fall out. They don't pass the test. And they don't pass the test in front of all of the congregation. And men like that become examples on, that's how not to be. I seen the pitfalls that he started, the road that he went down. I probably shouldn't go down that road. You understand? So, yep. And then 2 more points here I want to read. The third point it made, it says building empathy and understanding. Understanding that we all need mercy. You included. All right. Building empathy and understanding. Going through trials can help a prince develop empathy and understanding for the challenges faced by their subjects. And we're going to be ruling in the kingdom of heaven. All right. For those who sacrifice, like it talks about in Matthew, when Peter asked, what shall we have there for? Let me go get it. We're being groomed and all, brought up. We're seeing what the end of evil should be as gods, knowing both good and evil. We're seeing what the end of evil looks like. And we've had to make this sacrifice for things that people in the flesh would hold on to. Our families, our jobs, relationships, bonds, all kinds of things, right? Our opportunities in the world. And we're being groomed for a throne, right? Because that's what we're going to get. Albert says, I'm a part of that number. This is Matthew 19, and I'll start at 27. Yep, it was Peter that asked. It says, Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And Yahushua said, all right, and Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, being groomed for a throne, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, and everyone that have forsaken houses, brethren or sisters or father or mother or wife or children or lands for my name's sake shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. Yeah, and there in verse 28, because I had a brother ask me this question. It says, why does it say we're going to judge the 12 tribes of Israel? Aren't we all going to have the laws written within our inward parts and unable to sin? Yes, this is basically just talking about a position. You're not going to be a regular Israelite. You're going to be as a king amongst the godly people. So that's just going into the position that you'll have. Because I did have a brother a while back ask me that question. Good question. People could get tripped up on particular things because the way it's written in the English. All right. So that third point I wanted to read again in this article. It says, building empathy and understanding, going through trials can help a prince develop empathy and understanding for the challenges faced by their subjects. And that helps you when you have to make judgment calls, man. Especially here on this side, man. You put in a council with brothers that are going through particular things, or this brother may have went off, and, somebody new might just want to be like off rip, just, man. But then, as you grow, you're able to kind of have balance in your judgment and to realize when to show mercy and when to be harsh. You understand both sides, and, you being put through trials and going through things and falling and getting back up, that helps you be more balanced in your judgment. Okay? Let's go to the last point here. The fourth point for mercy. All right, it says strengthening resilience. Trials can strengthen a prince's resilience and determination. You put in all this work. You've come this far. You've seen the Lord moving in your life, moving in other brothers' lives, moving in the world. You've seen prophecy unfolded. So now when things may necessarily look grim or may look like, oh man, we're able to display that gift that we were given at first, that faith. Because now it's been watered and grown and matured, so that when it's time to show faith, when things necessarily look grim with the carnal eyes, and if you're looking with the eyes on your face in the days to come, you're not going to be able to make it, because it's going to look like we're losing. It's going to look like there's no way to escape. It's going to look like us doing what we're doing is the most foolish thing you could be doing. All right, but that's if you're looking with the eyes on your face. But the spiritual eye, we know the prophecies. We know that we win. We know how we're supposed to conduct ourselves in the midst, of the valley of the shadow of death. And we have faith that the Lord is going to have things play out the way He said it. We know. Look, everything that's happening, He said it was going to happen. We literally see it. So we're going to be able to display the faith when it goes down, man. And that's what the Lord is looking for. This question is posed. When He returns, will He find faith upon the earth? That's what He's looking for. All right, let's finish this fourth point here. It says, trials can strengthen a prince's resilience and determination, enabling them to face future challenges with greater fortitude. Overcoming trials can instill confidence and the ability to persevere in the face of adversity, essential qualities for effective leadership in times of crisis or uncertainty, which is where, carnally speaking, looking with the eyes on your face, the times we're getting ready to come into are uncertain. So, I'm Aratazah. That was just my little 2 cents as we come up on this solemn assembly, which is the Passover. All right, a very serious time. It's not like a party or a celebration. This is a very serious time. Passover was very serious, especially the Lord's Passover. So, with that being said, man, hopefully you gain something from it. Helps you move differently going forward, more circumspect. The prophecies are speaking. So, with that being said, I want to give all praises once more to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha Kodash. I want to give double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. I want to say shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity. Okay? May the blessing of election be upon your house. Shalom.